Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and this time we're going to be going over some more interesting and kind of weird theories about the things in the Star Wars universe. I enjoyed the first batch of these that we did. If you have a theory, please leave a comment, let me know. Would love to talk about it in a future video. And it's one of the fun things about Star Wars is the imagination you can have with things. So all right, first theory is that Maz Kanata is one of the wills of the Force. If you're not familiar with the wills, that was an idea that came from George Lucas as these macro beings that kind of basically channel the Force itself, and they kind of oversee everything that happens in space and time and in the galaxies. And Maz Kanata is definitely one of those characters where you do feel like there's something more to her. She seems very prophetic and wise. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say she's like a will of the Force, but she definitely could have some type of, deeper connection to the Force, or just someone that's been around a really long time and has learned a lot of different things about the Force. But either way, I think there's definitely more to her than maybe what was presented in the movies. But yeah, who knows? This next theory, I think, comes from a little bit of misinformation or misdirection, but this is about Palpatine is Anakin's father, technically. And this theory basically proposes that Palpatine manipulated the Force and created Anakin inside of Shmi. That's why he was born with no father. And, it kind of also goes to that Revenge of the Sith line about, manipulating the midichlorians to create life with Darth Plagueis. But, as far as we can tell with the information we've been given, that's not really how that happened. It was more of Darth Plagueis was trying to manipulate midichlorians and create life, and the Force responded to that by producing Anakin. It's kind of one of those things where just, showing Plagueis that, yes, you're a Sith, you're powerful, but you cannot create life, only the Force can create life, so here's how it's done, and that's how Anakin was created. This next theory is a fun one. Obi-Wan and Padme had a secret affair. Maybe? No, I don't think there's any truth to this one, but I do think it's fun to speculate. It adds a whole level of context to the Obi-Wan and Anakin duel. And you could also go a step further and say, maybe Obi-Wan is the father of Luke and Leia, and that's why they're so, grow so attached to him so quickly, and why he looks out for them. But it's a fun what if, but I don't think there's any truth to it. I think Obi-Wan just cared for Padme as Jedi care for people, and he was looking out for his brother and Anakin. All right, this next theory is Grogu is the child of Yoda and Yaddle. Yaddle being one of the only other Yoda species, and a female one at that has been seen in canon. She was a Jedi in the time of the prequel era. And, there's no way that two, pretty high-standing Jedi Masters, and especially Yoda being a Grand Master, there's no way they violated the code and had a child, on the low, right? But, there have been instances in canon where species being threatened, Jedi were allowed to take on wives and have children. Ki-Adi-Mundi's an example of that, but I don't know. I don't think Grogu's a child of Yoda. It's just, that'd be too easy to make that connection. This next theory is that the story of Star Wars is basically told through the point of view of R2-D2. Now, this one is interesting because R2 has been present for so many big moments, battles. He's interacted with so many of the key characters of Star Wars. You know, he witnessed the rise of the Empire, the fall of the Empire, you know, even all the way to the time of the sequel trilogy. So, you know, from a certain point of view, this could be true in theory. You know, many of the major events and battles and things that happened during the Skywalker saga are recorded in R2-D2's memory banks. So, you know, there's little details here and there, things that he could not have possibly known about. But, I mean, this one has a lot more credence than I think some of the other theories. So, all right, well, that's all I got for you this time. I appreciate you watching. And like I said, if you have any of your own theories, drop them in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button. Don't miss out on any great Star Wars content we got coming to you. And as always, may the Force be with you. Now let's blow up that like button and go home.